you know.
The Puritans still think you're going to hell, Alec.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. To start this episode, the last one was crazy. We went deep into AI. We are not going to talk about AI for the rest of this episode.
If you hear it brought up, I'll ding you.
Alex dinging it.
Ding!
Just ding it and we drop it. I'm giving you that power. Just ding it. We're going to jump right on into
This is a good discussion, though. It was
it was a very good discussion. DeSantis versus DJT. Trump, swagger back. He's taking out attack ads on CNN on DeSantis.
Trump is?
Yes.
About time. What was he waiting for?
I don't know.
He's obviously the main competitor. Like, do we really have to be coy about that anymore? I guess that's why it's all in red at the top here.
DeSantis has taken out Trump attack ads on Fox. I'm saying that if DeSantis is legit, he needs to take out attack ads on CNN. That's where I was trying to make more of that comparison.
Wow.
Is as Trump has moved scorched earth, he sees one competitor, he knows who it is, and he won't jump in the race. So as long as he's not in the race, he's very limited on what he can do, how he can promote himself. So Trump's just slamming him. The big thing with the commercial, and I guess, Craig, we'll see what you think about this, is apparently, I'm not saying I believe this is a rumor about Ron DeSantis, is that he eats chocolate pudding with his fingers. I don't.
This is some far Donald Trump stuff here.
The commercial.
Greg was also talking about aliens in the last episode. I want to throw that out there as well.
The commercial that Trump took out. You see a man in a suit with just a chocolate pudding in front of him, and he just sticks three fingers right down.
Trump put that out.
Trump put that out on CNN.
See, that's the thing with Trump. He is just ruthless.
He'll go there.
He will go there. He will get the job done because he doesn't really care.
So now if DeSantis, they're calling you a finger. You're pudding with your fingers.
Let me just use Craig actually as our barometer on this one.
Yeah, if this is true, if we do come out and there's a picture of Ron DeSantis just three fingers deep in a chocolate fudge,
like ultimately, who are you voting for, Craig? Like, is it
that game changer?
Or are we going?
Is this Mitt Romney putting the dogs on the roof? Talking about a binder of women.
You were in the DeSantis court, weren't you?
I think, yeah.
I mean, he's better. He's our best option, probably
over Trump. I mean, he's better over Trump.
Better than Trump.
Is this game changing? To me, this is a little bigger than when Ron DeSanctimonious, which is not that hard hitting. Finger licking Ron, like you can't trust him.
I don't think I'd vote for DeSantis though either.
Over a Democrat.
I'd vote third party.
The longer this goes without DeSantis responding to this beating, the less confidence I have in him. You just look weak at a certain point. It's just like, okay, he's really. Remember, Donald Trump eats pizza with a fork. So if we want to start attacking just very non-masculine ways to go about eating,
I don't know.
Donald Trump is not exactly. That's him taking the. This is MO. He takes these shots and he's like, he calls them meatball Ron. It's like, Don, you weigh more than he does.
I think sometimes.
How are you calling him a fat?
I think sometimes us campaign strategists, the ones that we are, obviously, maybe we look into it a little bit more. Like, I actually do think there is still a lot. Like, when we talk about the base,
it's commercial.
We're talking about like the actual policies, like the people who are behind. Like, that's ultimately going to like ring true at the end of the day. And something about like pudding dipping isn't going to actually move the needle or like change an outcome. But I don't know. Like that's up for the public to decide.
Like during COVID, he tried to like restrict what like the cruise line was doing.
Well, not compared to. Oh no, he did. He was trying to force the cruise line to open. He was anti, but that's kind of anti-capitalism.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Even though it
didn't benefit me. I mean,
he was trying to force them to open.
Yeah, yes. he was trying to make it so like people who are unvaccinated could
go on a cruise.
The cruises were trying to say you weren't allowed. So he was actually a Republican interfering with
he shouldn't have been interfering with what they believe.
Disney, you could also look at this as very not a conservative, deciding to get hyper.
I don't like seeing somebody taxing. Do that.
I mean, I generally believe that government shouldn't be in the business of telling other, especially businesses, what to do. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough toe to line.
No, but that's a conservative view.
Yeah,
that's more of a conservative.
And that's why I am more of a conservative Democrat.
But no, DeSantis, when you look at the way that he has been with Disney.
With Disney especially, which I don't agree with Disney, but like,
and that's why they shouldn't get. I agree with what he's doing to Disney. I don't think Disney should get some special religious discount. to conduct business.
I thought they have like an agreement with the state.
It was
already.
made 60 years ago that for them to start their business is they get a tax exemption.
Did it
They
have a
live in their
restriction on
own-
how long?
Whenever Congress
have their
decides to
own-
get rid
Did
of
they
it,
make a good deal? Like
whenever Congress decides
No.
it's no longer worth
Like,
it. Well, that's what
Disney probably
DeSantis is
they
threatening-
got the deal. Like,
What-
let them have it.
What's very odd to me is DeSantis is now threatening to put a prison besides Magic Kingdom.
Really?
Yes.
That's the leverage we're at now.
Where he can do anything he wants with it. It's state property. He's repoing it, and it's not largely it's its own
He's
little world.
repoing.
Like you know Disney.
Yeah.
It's all concentrated. Like there is no like city
Yeah.
a mile beside it.
Right.
You have it solidly
It's its
locked
own
off. It's like they do
thing.
their own roads.
They own
do
it.
their own cleaning.
Yeah.
Because they own it.
Like a church. A church owns its own property. They don't have to pay the traditional
But see,
taxes.
they actually created their own municipality that they
They're
put
taking
this
care
in.
of the property. Like
I know,
it's
but
very
it's just-
liberal.
But they've also
Let 'em
taken
go.
over the local government. Like they are their own everything. They just vote to not have any taxes, and then it's like, oh, we have no taxes. Like
Craig, you're saying true libertarian. They should keep their, even though you hate everything about their business model.
yeah, I mean, I'm not like a fan of what
Yeah.
some of what they're pushing and everything.
But tax exemption. They believe that they
Yeah.
organize this deal. They get a tax exemption.
They
They
own all
get
that land.
move.
They
just
maintain
like,
it, right? It's
just like they
illegal.
told
But we
Craig,
own land
just
and
like
we
they
pay
told
taxes
just
on
like they
it.
told the anti-vaxxers.
But-
You don't like the vax mandate? Move.
Here's the problem, though.
You don't like
They
the
do a
abortion?
better-
Move.
They do a better job taking care of that land as a private business than the
Ah,
government
sure.
does anywhere in this.
Not
state.
if they're brainwashing children.
Well, the parents are the ones letting them watch it. Like they can put out whatever they
True.
want.
Craig, consistent
Like,
Craig. I
can
would
see
give him this. Yeah.
There are things that me and Courtney are in agreement that Cash cannot watch.
Yes. No. I
You know,
no, kudos to you for keeping it consistent there.
that's just how it
Alec,
is.
you do you go to war with Disney or no?
no, I just don't think they're paying their fair share.
That's
Like,
what
I
I'm saying.
don't-
It's
you know,
time for you to pay.
that's-
You got to pay the
Because
tax.
I was like, I'll go back to like I
You-
own property. I pay taxes on it.
the message.
Like I'm not like I take
essentially-
care of my property probably
essentially-
better than the government would. Where's my tax break?
Disney.
You know,
You shouldn't have to pay
So-
taxes when you're running a business.
Disney needs Florida more than
Like,
Florida
yeah.
needs Disney. People are going to keep vacationing to
Yeah,
Florida
no,
whether or not
that's-
it has an
that's a
amusement park or
power-
not. It's a beach. It's a popular state that
Yeah.
can't even home price is going through the roof. So it's like if Florida's argument is that okay, fine, move. You don't like it, start an amusement park in
well, I think the thing is
California.
when Disney,
How's that working out for you?
Disney created like Central Florida. Like I don't think there's actually people living in
No.
the interior of Florida.
No, and that's
like,
why you said you'll build a
pre,
prison there.
You know, all of
It's
that.
just go put a prison out there. It's a safe
because it
place
was
for a
just-
prison in
if you're
Florida.
gonna be in Florida, why would you be in the swampland? Like you would be out on the coast, you know. So it's like
I think
so they built Disney as this like main draw, like kind of like almost like Vegas was out in the middle of nowhere, and they created Orlando, which is a major city and has like millions of people that live there, and that's part of the economy of overall Florida. So it's like, yeah, okay, obviously there's benefit there, but again,
I personally like
we all got to kitty up here.
I personally like the fight with Disney. I do not like he's recently promoted the heartbeat bill, which is 6 week after 6 week exception free abortion ban, and it's totally unnecessary. It's
Wait,
him.
what?
DeSantis backed if they pass through their house, which they will, the heartbeat bill. It puts a ban on abortions after 6 weeks. I think that makes him a useless presidential candidate. This is a single issue voter that if you do a proper compromise,
Didn't work well for the Republicans in the midterms. Did
it is never. It is
Yeah.
never in the history of the party worked out. It just
Yeah.
seems like a suicide pact that we have a radical portion of the conservatives that are willing to drive the whole party over the ledge over one issue. That when I was yelling at you about AI and Craig was saying, I'm more concerned about us not being able to retire till 69 or something, Social Security,
Yeah.
than I am the future of AI.
Yeah.
If you think abortion should trump any one of these other issues we're talking about, that's just misplaced values.
I almost dinged you there, but you know, it wasn't.
Yes,
quite
you should be
there.
more concerned
Yeah,
about
so-
AI than you should be concerned about the abortion.
Ding,
issue.
AI
There you go.
was
you,
brought up.
you
Okay,
saw it,
there
you
you
called
go.
it out, and I went with it because you already threw the flag, even though I didn't commit.
It was
Even though I
relevant.
didn't commit, I
I
left
let it go.
I left
It
on
was
the other- yeah.
relevant. It was relevant.
I left it on the other two.
Yeah. So,
If DeSantis wants to play,
yeah.
he let me.
I still think he's the strongest candidate.
Let me edit what I said earlier.
But you're right about the abortion.
I don't think he's going to run. And if he would, he needs to take Joe Biden attack ads out on CNN. He needs to call him out on COVID. He got to call him out. Just ignore Trump.
Well, he has to be a little bit more of a populist. Not a lot more, a little bit more. And like he has room to do that.
He needs to prove he's more of a formidable candidate.
Well, and that's what Donald Trump is, the ultimate populist. So you gotta, if you want to take him, then you gotta show signs of it, but you can't fully commit.
Well, the reason if I'm DeSantis,
again, a fine thing to line there.
If I'm okay to clarify, if I'm DeSantis, I'm not running. This is not the time to do this. This is Trump looks like he's going to be. I'd actually rather.
I still think he's at his highest profile. So
but I don't think the old rule of thumb is you only have one chance close to the sun. Is that you only be this popular one time. Well, Joe Biden is the walking example of someone who they said that every decade for the past 40 years. Like, it's literally every decade. It's like, this is the time. Scranton Joe, everyone loves him. We can relate to him. And he just never made it until he was 80 years old. And now he's a prodigy.
Does Florida...
And it's like, so if DeSantis is going, I'll never have a chance to shine again. It's like, look at the guy you're trying to replace.
Does Florida...
You got plenty of elections unless we blow each other up.
I should know this, but is Florida, like, always red?
No. This was a DeSantis. DeSantis won his original governor election in 2018. After Trump in 2016.
Yeah.
He was up for governor. He won a 51-49 against
a Democrat?
Andrew Gillum. A Democrat that ended up being really flawed. They didn't vet him beforehand. But it was largely viewed that DeSantis has won his primary on Trump's endorsement.
I was thinking presidential elections. When was the last time Florida went blue? Do you know that off the top of your head, or do I have to ask ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
The only question is did Obama win? I don't know if Obama won Florida. I'm gonna go out on I'm gonna guess ChatGPT would know this. I would guess in 2008, Obama won Florida. 2000 was the hanging Chad against Al Gore.
Right.
I
got it. 2004, George Bush expanded his map.
While we wait for the answer, did you notice how like ChatGPT won't like initially talk bad about?
Oh yeah, but don't worry, there will be a Republican ChatGPT, a Libertarian ChatGPT, and there'll be a Democrat. You'll pick.
He had Obama won it in 08 and 12.
Okay, half ding.
And Clinton won it.
I think Clinton could have won one, but no, right now I think a 10 million. That might be it. No, 1.5 million. Ron DeSantis won 2022.
I just feel like Florida's just too big of a prize to give up. To like say.
Well, no, but Trump lives in Florida. That's what it's like. I would if you're asking is 2024 on the table for Democrats?
Yeah,
it's not under any circumstance. Okay. But they have Georgia. That's more the battleground state. You don't need Florida if you have Georgia. You don't need Ohio if you have Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So these states. Right now, it looks like Ohio and Florida have hardened red. Georgia, they just voted a red governor and 2 blue senators in runoffs. So that's a very difficult. I would say it's a red state.
Yeah, everyone.
But 2 out of 3 power positions are blue.
Everyone in Florida is there to avoid taxes, right?
Texas,
so that's why Trump lives there.
Tennessee,
there from
Nashville's had a population boom.
I mean, they're gonna go.
Yeah. We led the first episode talking about taxes. Actually,
we did, and I think we got that covered enough.
But I would agree. I mean, I still think again as a Democrat, I would say the income tax needs to go. If we're gonna get rid of a tax, it needs to be that one. And if that means sales has to go up like a couple of percentage points, then fine. But
yeah, you should have the option of not overspending to save some money.
Yeah, Texas does it wonderfully. When you want to, they really do. I have to give Texas credit. I mean, their tax system is the dream. You know what I mean? Like that's it. They are it. That's probably the model.
It's the Greg Abbott pitch.
Yeah.
Wheels.
Are you a Republican now?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just, I admire it. Like, I wish Democrats could do what they do better.
Well, no, there is the ideal Kennedy Democrat has just entered the race. And I know some people. RFK Jr., the son of Bobby Kennedy. Mm-hmm. Let's go through the timeline here. JFK, the original great.
Yeah.
Assassinated in office.
The Catholic.
Late 1960s. Person. Lyndon B. Johnson takes over. Who was JFK's attorney general? A young Robert F. Kennedy. They called him Bobby. Bobby was the AG. No, this is important because this is where like a lot of times people get like try and accuse the president of being corrupt because having a close relationship with their AG. This has a long history of, your brother is your AG. This is your top cop. This is the person who's going to be handling all investigations. It's the security of your country. JFK gets assassinated. Lo and behold, we have a next election. Lyndon B. Johnson is the VP. He was totally different politics than JFK. He got through certain bills with the civil rights, yada, yada, yada. Next election comes around, 1968. Bobby Kennedy gets the front runner, goes to the convention in June to take not the convention. Sorry, goes to the California convention, assassinated.
Right.
Surratt. Next, they put in an establishment guy. He gets crushed by Nixon. The rest is history.
Right.
A couple years ago, Surratt was let out of prison.
Oh?
Yes, we covered this in an episode. Who let him out? None other than Robert F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy's son, current presidential candidate, RFK Jr. He doesn't believe Surratt did it. And when you look at there's no real evidence that it happened. This is before we had iPhones in 68. Like, there wasn't a lot of use. It was just you grab people with guns, and this was 2 years after his brother. JFK's assassinated. JFK's assassinated. Bobby Kennedy's assassinated. We got like 3 camera angles and like 10 bullet holes.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one got any idea what's going on. All that turns out, we just never figured it out.
So RFK Jr. is going to make the redemption?
But Bobby Kennedy sabotaged the Democratic nominee. Lyndon B. Johnson stepped down before rerunning. Hubert Humphreys, Triple H, was put in his place. After they assassinated the frontrunner, this is where brokered convention, the delegates had to make a decision.
Well, 68 was the big one. That was the big.
They lit Chicago on fire.
Yeah, that was like the election that shaped
I'm dreaming of a 68 convention. That is
You've been calling it for 3 years now.
At the very least, if the 68 does not happen, we could have a 1980.
You can't just keep predicting the same thing.
Because this is a different Kennedy. This is, what's his name? Chappaquiddick. Ted Kennedy.
Oh.
Ted Kennedy challenged. This is a brother. This is like fourth in line. He challenges Jimmy Carter in a primary, sabotages Jimmy Carter. Ronald Reagan takes the election. Jimmy Carter is a one-term president.
Yeah.
I think Robert F. Kennedy, at the minimum, can do what Jimmy Carter did. Maybe he can be a Bobby Kennedy candidate.
Is he a Democrat?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a Democrat. He was one of the original advocates for climate conservation.
Okay.
Not whether or not we're talking hot coal.
I think that'd be fitting if RFK Jr. took over Biden.
But he was an extreme anti-vaxxer. And up until the big Myrna fail, now...
That could play well, though.
Not only does he have a guaranteed 15% Democrats, he has 15% Republicans, where he can squeeze Trump. He can put Trump in a real pickle right now. Going, Project Warp Speed was a disaster. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole thing was a joke. You're still trying to champion it? I can't believe you mandated that citizens get this inefficient garbage vaccine that you rushed through. And no, Joe Biden, don't start clapping your hands. You were very happy. You weren't going to take Project Warp Speed until you won the election. And then all of a sudden, you're lining all of us up like guinea pigs. You put every one of our army, every one of our doctors, young people. He can hammer that. And the whole time, all he's going is debate me. Why won't you give me a debate? Mm. And normally the DNC goes, well, the polls say you need 15% or people don't believe in you. He got 15%, 14% undecided. There's a 30% never Biden faction in the Democratic Party. That's 1 out of 3.
How much? 13?
30.
30?
30. So
never Biden.
Never Biden. So 15% like RFK, 15% undecided. Marianne Williamson's the only other candidate. If he can pull a third of the delegates and Joe Biden can't do a debate, because RFK's calling card
possible.
is you're scared to debate me. Is you either are too incompetent.
I'll give you this much. It's definitely possible.
I'm excited for the first time since Tulsi announced.
Are there odds on it? Have you checked odds?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm guessing he's a long shot right now.
Okay.
And this is where I'm going to cover my own potential loss, is as of now...
Got to hedge it.
The plan is not to win. It is to torpedo Joe. Mm. It is that if the DNC cannot realize that Robert Kennedy would crush Trump, then the Democratic Party deserves to lose to him. Mm-hmm. And the goal of this movement is to do what his uncle did in 1980.
Yeah.
And just sabotage Jimmy Carter. just realize that this guy has he's way in over his skis. And I'm a Jimmy Carter fan. This is somebody who actually thought Jimmy Carter did wrong. But hey, this is politics, buddy. This is why this is a fun thing to cover. Hopefully, this story's only going to keep building over the primaries. And as long as RFK can treat this like a boxer.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Following Joe around. Why won't you debate me? If you have this locked up, there's no reason why you can't sit next to a stage and have a proper debate. I got 30%. 1 out of 3 Democrats want to hear what I have to say. And you won't give me a platform? Sounds like a chicken.
Speaking of things that give people platforms, I wanted to bring up the Fox Dominion.
Yeah, go ahead. I figure you can. I'll let you go hard on that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
fake news, Fox.
It's a win.
Yeah. What's the win?
It's a win.
What's the win?
I mean, I wish it wasn't settled. I will say that. Like the idea, like I really wanted it to go to court and like have to have Fox people's. Not even the Murdoch thing. Like I actually love Murdoch. Like as weird as that sounds.
That's very odd. But you're a newspaper mogul.
That's I admire the media mogul in him. Yes, that's exactly what it comes down to. And I read a couple of his books. Like it's just a lot of it gets misconstrued.
You are the message.
A little bit. Yeah, but
as Roger.
I wish it was played out in court. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But
what do you think would happen if it was played out in court?
It would have just released a lot of awkward moments for Fox to have to answer.
They're already released. You know? Like the news has been playing them for 3 months. No Fox News watcher cares.
No, I know. That's not the point. The point is they made a false statement and they got called out for it.
What about Russiagate?
If you're going to be legitimate, you got to...
What about the Mueller report?
You can't just make shit up.
What about the Steele dossier? What about Crossfire Hurricane? What about Peter Strzok?
A lot of other things out there.
Well, I guess...
This was one that hit home with voters. So,
Trap, Alec.
There you go.
Here's the thing. CNN has been yucking it up for 2 days. Because I really think Donald Trump's laughing is that he's going to go and file lawsuits against CNN on all the same grounds for 2016 and beyond. Is every impeachment hearing, every fake dossier, the 50 FBI agents who said Hunter's emails are fake?
But there's more substance to this one than those ones because you actually have like hard evidence.
We got a settlement. We did not get any...
No, you got a settlement.
I don't get any literature.
The settlement was a big win for Fox.
Yeah.
It was a big win.
This is a win for Fox.
That was...
You get nothing. You get no testimony.
That wasn't the headline. If we want to go behind
the headline is and let's all get it out of our system. Fake news, Fox. Nah. They do fake news.
Yeah, they do fake news.
After Trump said CNN did fake news all these years, looks like Fox did it too. Does that exonerate CNN? If anything, do we not have a precedent now that CNN could get sued for this same shit?
But I would still say in Fox's defense, it was good people just making bad decisions.
Tucker Carlson, his emails, and that's what was misreported, it vindicated him. After he had a interview with that Sidney Powell, one of the crazy Q people, he texted back, goes, "This lady's crazy." And the next time he had her on, he filleted her. One of the Fox anchors didn't.
Okay,
but
I mean, they still lied about this.
You can.
I think that's a big step for the journalist to take. Like again, for the journalist inside of me to go out there and necessarily say. These people screwed up. Like their machines were hacked and controlled.
They stopped counting in Fulton County, Georgia, for 4 hours, and we don't know what happened during that time. You can't convince me that there was no possibility that they were tampered with.
No, I know, but there's just not enough evidence to ever convict.
So either way, that makes it inconclusive. So you can't. If someone says, "I believe," that there was, that's your belief as an anchor.
Which is why they settled this case at the end of the day because of that point. You know what I mean? But it was still it still boiled up to this level.
Do you think there's any
need it?
Do you think
it was bad? It was bad journalistic intent. I think is what I'm trying to get at here. You can't just go out there and say this is an obvious slander case, whatever's true or not. You can't just go up there and say Craig's company is the worst ever.
Do you
know what I mean? Like when you have nothing to back that up with. Like you need some kind of proof to say oh yeah.
Somebody paid a prostitute to piss on your bed.
There's a testimonial or somebody
you went to a hotel.
On him or something.
No, Alec, you went to a hotel in Europe to just have a prostitute piss on one of the beds I lived in last year in a hotel room. And there's videotape of you just watching it creepily masturbating to prostitutes pissing on my bed. You've started an entire 2-year investigation.
It's a great legal defense to try to
let's lock them all up.
Take the attention away.
CNN wants to start
from
clapping now.
That you're
let's go.
To make. I get
let's
what
go.
You're trying to do here.
Let's go. Let's do all of these cases. Let's go one by one and investigate every one of these journalists and what their intent was with their reporting. Do you think that this will have any negative effect on Fox News as far as its fan base? Or its role in the political, presidential choosing process?
I think it does. And I think this is where actually Fox loses a little bit, is I think they do take a little bit of a credibility backstep here.
Who?
Just overall, just like you can cite them as a source. Like I just
do you think there's a person in your life? Is there someone you know that trusted Fox? Like, I know they're telling me the truth. They never lie to me about Dominion voting machines. And now their eyes have just been open and now they're questioning everything.
A lot of the people that watch Fox just like buy into it 100%.
I would say the majority of people that watch Fox know that Fox bullshits them. Yeah, but they're lying to you. They're just lying in a way to you that is more preferential to your bias.
If we want to do a lot of politics, they always say a third, right? A third agree with you, a third don't, and a third's in the middle. I think there's a third in the middle on Fox that now maybe inches a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be like hugely significant.
They left when those accusations were made. They left when that happened. They did not need this hearing to go, Fox. You could sense it at the time. That's why the misreporting on Tucker is all the anchors were different. They all had their own personal understanding of it. And in real time, like all of us, you had to wake up every morning, read Twitter, read the news accounts, take a couple interviews from crazy people, and formulate your opinion on half-formed facts.
But it's just, to me, it was the same thing that would infuriate me in a litigious society, is people just being able to like sue everybody for every little thing. It's like, I'm just gonna file this suit on you because you looked at me wrong, because you dropped a couple of nails while I was working in your house and I stepped on one and got an infection and like died. It's like, that's not my fault. You're gonna try to just sue me for every little thing. This is now like the same thing could happen in the news. So you can't just. That's why I think the slander case is important. Like, I think you need to uphold it as much as you can. So
I take the opposite view of you on Fox's entertainment, and I actually whether Fox is, I don't think it's hurt by this at all.
If you're gonna play a news person, then you have a standard you have to live up to. If you just want to hide behind the commentary banner, fine, but then you have to label yourself like that. You can't come out here and say news and then have an opinion.
No, but Fox has Brett Baer. This did not, and this only indicted the commentators. It did not indict the people that portray themselves as newscasters. And they make a point of going, I am not, like Greg Gutfeld goes, I am not a journalist like Brett Baer. I am a commentator. No, I don't report the news nonpartisan. I just give my I try and give you a concise take on a story that you can relate to. Right. That's entirely different than a journalist like Brett Baer or a lot of daytime Fox, where you can make a big, where Fox would go is we have daytime Fox and nighttime Fox. Cavuto's actually a liberal.
Well, it's just that then they have to.
But no, nighttime Fox hammers. Nighttime Fox is concerned. I would argue that they do. At no point do they you'd have to be real dumb to get that confused. Like if you're watching Fox and you can't tell a commentator from a reporter.
I guess, but even while you're telling a commentary, you want to use like factual information, right? I mean, you can't like make your point on something that could be disputed. So it's just like, that's the other thing,
You can't theorize then.
Oh, you can theorize all you want, but you can't like. I mean, this is where you like toe the line when you're writing an opinion piece. Is like, you want to use the data in your favor, obviously, and there's a way to do that. Like it's like we always say that like there's a way to change a percentage in your favor, or like work the numbers in your favor.
Okay.
But it's just I don't like you can't just go out there and state a completely false claim and say this is why we should do it. Then it's like we should riot against the government because the voting machines were wrong.
Well, now he's going to Elon versus BBC waters. I wasn't moving there, but
I think that's the risk.
You're saying that there's this hate speech. We're going back to did Donald Trump incite a riot?
This is the role media is supposed to play. At what point did his
words compel his hopeless followers to break into the White House?
I got a rocket piss before this.
I got a question here for Alec. Yes. We've been talking about whether or not people from the Biden administration, Team Hunter, are or not trolling the team. Did you see any of his Ireland visit?
I watched it live on a GoPro strapped to his
Did you
body.
see him at the castle?
No.
Where he had the crowd? Like, we're talking rock star status, Trump status at MMA. Came out to the Dropkick Murphys, shipping out to Boston.
In Ireland.
And he came out with his music, and we're talking the whole city. He apparently traces lineage. So the backstory to this is...
I did hear about the
he's
trace
supposed to be...
lineage thing.
If you're going to Europe, you should be working on Ukraine. Mm-hmm. The king just got coronated. He did a walkabout of his family tree. Got a lot of criticism for not doing presidential stuff. But how Fox screws themselves is at the same time while they're going, he needs to be doing all this. The Afghanistan pullout was a disaster. He knows nothing about foreign power. I'm watching this going, I have never seen Joe look this good. I have never seen him be energized, a crowd. He did basically announce he was running for president. And then his aides came in and like, no, I'm not. And it's like, well, I am, but I'm not saying it yet. And it's like, I don't know what this means, but he's pumped.
Yeah.
And that reception he got, if you're just a liberal who just turned the news on, if Craig just popped the news on for that clip, to see him coming out, Dropkick Murphys, shipping out to Boston, in front of a castle with the crowd, women, babies, whipping. He knows where he's going. They have him on an easy guided stage so that he's just walk this little, walk the platform, your little runway model, Joe, strut it, keep your head up, smile, and he's doing it. And the music's blasting. It's like, okay, this is not a guy who's going to step down.
No.
This is the guy who's just good.
I've been consistent on this from the beginning.
He's in.
You know.
He's in.
So it's...
And now that Robert F. Kennedy is putting he's just going to keep doing like a boxer. Where are you at, Joe? Hiding Joe. Joe in a basement. Let's do a debate. Where are you at, Mr. You're so good in Ireland. That's my question. Alec, do you believe there is any state or city in America where Joe could receive that kind of reception?
Boston.
Why Boston? He's from Scranton and Delaware.
A lot of Irish in Boston.
Robert F. Kennedy's from Boston. The Kennedys are the Boston family. Joe Biden is not going to take Massachusetts.
Boston's big enough.
I'm telling you, I think he'd get egged. I think if he went to Philly, Boston...
Philly would be another good one.
I guess no, but Philly's on fire right now. They got a squatter issue. Last time he was there, they had those car jam rallies where everyone went and just started honking on their horns for hours on end for some vegetable to go stand in front of them and whisper into a microphone.
Crazy Philadelphians.
Do you remember the car jam rallies?
No.
You don't remember during COVID, when they had everyone in circles, like everyone had to park in their car, and they had a drive.
Oh, kind of, sort of.
And they all sat there, and instead of clapping, you just honk, and it's just like, wow, this is just a traffic jam. The Democrats have literally turned rallying into a complete.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, no, I remember this.
I just remember watching it. Like, is this good or a bad sign? Like, those are everyone. Everyone there's a mental patient. It was like there's not nobody who has their head together is actually going to this, but he has people filmed.
Right. It was proof that they're all insane.
But they're real.
And
they
those
vote.
People are insane.
They're all mailing. They mailed their vote 6 weeks before the election ever happened. And then they showed up at every rally and just at that season.
Should we end the episode talking about marijuana policy?
No, I don't have. No.
I think we should
There's
pay some homage to
Pennsylvania policy is not that exciting, and if we were going to
Doesn't
talk
have to be
about that
Pennsylvania.
Adderall
We can
shortage,
talk about it at the federal level.
What? Legalize it. Whatever.
It's more. We legalized it
Whatever.
medically, and it's more expensive now than it was when it was illegal.
But
and
what
it's
if
of
that
worse
eliminated
quality.
the property tax for you, Craig? Then wouldn't you be a little bit more
no.
in favor of it?
Things I had to get into here?
Yeah.
What everything's supposed to.
I'm gonna skip Hunter for a second because I can see we're losing Alec. The CCCP secret police were busted in New York. What do you think that means, Alec?
How are they busted?
I'm watching this headline. I'm trying to figure out what is the secret police. Do we have American? Are there Canadian secret polices? Are there Russian secret polices? What about Mexican secret polices? What the hell does it mean that the U.S. FBI busted a New York Chinese secret police station? They just arrest people? Does Bill of Rights apply to people if they're getting arrested by Chinese cops?
Was it sanctioned by us?
Well, back when I was young, we used to call foreign police mobs and gangs. Like, it wasn't like, oh, it's a formal police. Like, it's no, like, Mexico has a group of people who are in charge.
Do we have any of these in other countries?
Yeah, no, but
Probably.
Not only do we, but why are we calling the Chinese secret police? What if we called the Mexican drug cartels secret police stations? They just do cocaine police busts. That's their main concern. Their main, what about the terrorists? What do we do with, like, the Islamic jihads and that kind of thing? We're going where... Do we have... What... What I'm saying...
I don't know what you want me to say about the secret... Yeah, they probably exist. I don't know.
It sounds kind of like America is consenting to them being here. And do you know they're not just in New York?
What are they doing? Are they arresting
any
Chinese
detractors? Anybody who is spreading information that is against the Chinese Communist Party's best interest gets abducted.
No.
Yeah. That's what they busted it. We know one exists.
What were they doing?
And they've known for like 3 months.
What are you saying they were doing?
Probably more of like an intel, also like an intel gathering.
Right. Yes. Anybody who is a threat to the Chinese Communist
Party
in America.
Them.
That's what I'm joking. They don't get cuffed and read their rights and get lawyers. They get abducted and deported, sex trafficked. They get human trafficked. No, they aren't cops. Calling them secret cops makes it sound like there's some type of ethics to it.
They're trying to capture runaways.
Yeah, they're a Chinese gang that is in charge of enforcing.
So why have they not sent me into the sex slavery?
If there was someone that was going to come to us,
Craig, I hate to break it to you,
and I think it depends on region, and we would be sold into the Irish probably the IRA sex trafficking market if we were to be abducted into that.
I think I would maybe be.
No, they wouldn't use us for sex. Guys. No, the AI has made it so we're probably not going to be useful for sex at a certain period of time. We're going to be manual laborers. We're going to go to the Congo, and we're going to have to take spoons to get lithium out of the jungle.
Ding,
to try and...
ding.
It took you a while to get to that one. Discord data leak. Russian intel leak that apparently was screwed in Ukraine.
3 minutes.
There was no news to us. If you've been watching this show, everything that you saw on those records, I have been saying for 4 months. This guy's going to jail.
Which one? Who?
The guy's last name is Teixeira, the old first baseman from the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Teixeira. They can't get it on the news. They keep calling him.
Is it actually him, or are you just using that name as an example?
The actual spelling of his last name is the same. It's not him.
Okay, it's not him. Okay.
The news can't pronounce it correct. It's a tough name. It looks like Teixeira.
Just wanted to clarify.
If you sounded it out. No, it's Teixeira. Yeah. They keep screwing it up.
All right.
This guy, 21-year-old, the big thing that both left and right are getting pissed about is why does a 21-year-old have Q clearance? Top secret security. Well, you join the military at 18. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. I mean, if you're an adult at 21, you can drink. That's not that weird.
Yeah.
There's nothing that abnormal about it. It's just more about now.
It's a young person that
similar to them wanting to ban TikTok, VPNs, Discord, and you could also put Discord with that WhatsApp, that other encrypted.
Like messaging
I think Signal messaging. There's a whole bunch of these different types of encryptions that claim that your message deletes after a certain period of time or it can't be tracked. This Discord is a place where gamers generally organize their own, what we would have been back in our AOL instant messaging days, just chat groups. And it's like they all go there and you can have 10 little pictures at one time. If we all wanted to play a board game, we're going to play poker.
We could all just get on there and do it.
We could all go onto a site. We have a little avatar around the poker table.
Yeah.
And then Discord would have our faces all on our monitors watching the game. Mm. It's a way to do it. I can see him during lockdown.
We had a hard enough time,
during lockdowns, and you were stuck in and you just wanted to hang out with a group of people.
You could do that.
This is the way you do it. I get it. I don't know how long it's going to be popular.
You have friends in different areas.
But you'd rather go to the place where everyone gets to socialize.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah. That's what we're adjusting into.
What's
now.
This Feinstein stuff like going on?
She has the scratchy disease that you get from the vax. Oh, it's chicken pox part 2.
Oh my.
for old people.
Okay.
Shingles.
Shingles.
Sounds just
Yes.
terrible. Just these big lesions on your body.
The way you got there, wow. Okay.
Well, she's the head of the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
And since she's out, they don't have enough votes, since it's 50-50, to pass any of the Democrats' judiciary nominees.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're trying to go, well, we want to put in a replacement. And Republicans are going, no, you can pull her and put in someone else.
Yeah.
She's too old. She's stepping down at the end of her semester. We're tired of dealing with the head of a division who can't function.
Yeah.
Like her name was in the news most recently because her staff retired her. And then when the news asked her about it, she said, no, I'm not retired. And it caused this big controversy. She's like, does she know that they're telling her she's no longer a California senator? She's very popular. She's most known for being a concealed firearm carrier.
Oh.
She carries a little pistol at the White House.
Okay.
She'll take your guns. You won't take hers. That's...
Works like a charm in California, apparently.
The debate is the term age limits. Both sides of the aisle are kind of trying to take shots at
Okay.
that. I don't know. We've been over this a bunch of times. Do you guys have any updates on your thoughts on, are you pro a term limit or an age limit?
Have we talked about this? I don't know.
I normally shoot it down pretty quickly because my concern is if you put in an age limit, then all that's going to happen is the same staff, the same 100
some
staffers.
judges
will
have
work.
age limits, right? I think
It's generally
some do.
considered like an ableist.
I'm pretty sure we have age limits on certain judges in Pennsylvania.
We do
Most positive.
every time we vote.
It's like 78, but it's.
I have a big problem with this because I feel like there shouldn't be any restriction.
No, and I would think we do have age limits. We can vote him out. We can
Yeah.
say Joe Biden is 83 years old and I'm not going to vote for an 83-year-old. And Trump is 79 years
So
old
why
and I'm
even-
not
Why
voting for
don't
him.
we?
why
Why
even
don't we
talk?
do that? though? I don't
Why
understand
don't we
don't
decide
do
to
that.
use our votes to actually bring in people that might actually do something?
Right, like why do we keep voting for the same morons?
Because we insist that if you don't go by a two-party system, it'll be the end of the world. And I'm saying the end of the world's coming.
Well,
so if AI is already end of the world, let's just try a third party. Why don't we just actually try and look at the people who are answering the questions about how to handle AI can't talk about it because they're too old to even understand the technology it operates on.
Let's just let AI be the president.
Oh no, that's that. So then,
Ding! Massive ding!
Hunter IRS whistleblower.
The term limits have more
Yeah.
to do with any of that.
The only other thing
Jesus.
My last topic, Hunter IRS. This was last night. It broke randomly. It would have been number one on the order. An IRS whistleblower is coming through that they know that Merrick Garland and Tony Blinken lied about the status of Hunter's investigation for 5 years.
Okay.
The FBI has been sitting on this, and basically the scuttlebuss. I explained the scuttlebuss. What do you do with an investigation? How you scuttlebust an investigation.
Oh.
You take an investigation that is legitimate and you make it illegitimate.
Yeah. You take it apart piece by piece.
Whitey Bulger, Black Mass, movie with Johnny Depp. Right now, the scuttlebuss is on for Hunter Biden. And a whistleblower is requesting, from what I can tell now, a special inspector general on whether or not this guy can testify in front of the House and Senate. And that vote, we're going to find out over the next couple of days. If that's happening, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. That's everything that Trump's been accused of times 10 is about to get. Where it's a big deal if you're thinking, Alec, who's the next nominee going to be? Let's say next week Joe Biden steps down Lyndon B. Johnson style. I'm saying my boy Robert F. Kennedy is going to take him out Jimmy Carter style. Best case scenario, he can step down now, old man, like Lyndon B. Johnson, and he realized Bobby Kennedy in '68 was going to roll. He was New Hampshire. He won 50.
Joe Biden will never do that, Greg. Okay, it'll be fine.
If it's your son will
He'll
be arrested.
die before that happens.
Your son will be arrested. I'm arresting Atlas, Alec.
Again.
I'm arresting Atlas unless you step down from the presidency.
He would die before he would let that happen.
They'd kill him if he didn't.
He'd kill himself.
And I'd one up is if before they try and suffer through another basement campaign with my boy RFK on his heels 24/7 night and day with name recognition and Fox Fox is like, we'll take anything to get some heat off DeSantis
I like
and
it.
Trump.
I like it.
Anything
I like it as a
to
dark
talk about
horse
another
pick.
race.
I like it as a dark horse pick, but that's still what it is. So.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. And I'm saying let's watch that. Watch AI. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
Ding.
Yeah. No, I dropped it.
You don't want
Anything?
to talk anymore AI.
You said AI. Dang.
Yeah. AI.
And the episode.
Do you want to talk about it? Is there any updates you have?
No.
Donald J. Trump NFTs?
I thought we were ending it.
He's selling football cards of himself as like a fireman. Basically, every image of Trump.
Well, I did want to
I'm past the 11 o'clock
Would you want to talk a
hour.
little bit of sports?
Oh, he's baseball and the Pirates back.
The Pirates are doing kind of good.
That's Alex call. We didn't even get the Bud Light.
No,
That was a
just-
distraction.
I don't even know what the
no
Bud Light
interest.
thing was.
Oh, Dylan.
A tranny got it. I mean, it's really not a big deal.
No,
but
it's not.
It's kind of stupid that people are freaking
Bud
out.
Light might no longer be a brand anymore.
No, that's not true.
They put out a TikTok influencer. They made Bud Light cans. They're not selling them in stores, but it's a trans woman.
If
That means
you-
a man named Dylan Mulvaney. I don't know her current name, but Fox is hammering Dylan. It's a Dylan. Apparently, she still has a dick. She got these cans. She put out the video.
Oh yeah, I only know her as Dylan. What is her name? We don't know.
Dylan can be a girl's name.
So what did she do with
Oh,
the
so
could just be
What did she
Dylan.
do with the
Oh,
cans?
yeah,
Don't know.
you're right.
Just don't.
That's true, I do
This
know.
story is such a struggle to get through.
What
But
did
either
she-
way, the VP of Bud Light came out and goes, "We don't want to be just frat brother humor anymore." And the Bud Light fans started. They brought out Kid Rock, got out the assault rifle. And blew up a bunch of Bud Light cans in his yard. John Rich got on Fox and said, "I told everyone those cans are skunks in the back." And their sales dropped 10%. And it got to a point
Any
where
publicity, good publicity? I don't know.
or that this is the ultimate test of that question. Is this one of those, if you go woke, you go broke? That is it. Could it be that when your fans were 90% conservative,
beer
they
drinkers.
just didn't want that in their face? Or more importantly, if you're a macho man, you're a single 50-year-old man, divorced, 2 kids, you pride yourself on drinking a Bud Light, not because it tastes good, because it's American and it's cheap. Now you're supporting trans rights. Give me a Coors. You don't want that joke because I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go, "Oh, Alec, I know you're
Am I
drinking
the only
Bud."
one that likes Miller Lite?
And that's where Coors
I
lights
love
up.
Miller.
Coors lights up. Miller lights up.
I'm a Miller
However,
Lite drinker. Oh, yeah.
Budweiser, Corona, and Michelob Ultra are also all Bud Light brands. So Budweiser broke out the Clydesdales. They broke out the horses. They were like, "America, America." Corona's like, "You never associated us with that brand." They're kind of waiting on you. Got to be an advanced boycotter to go in. And this wasn't just a Bud Light call. This is Anheuser-Busch. This is the big brand. Got to punish them all if you really want to hit them. Bud Light sales are down.
I was drinking Busch Light tonight. What was that?
Damn it. Alec, what message have we been sending? Let me try.
The problem is as soon as you drink a Bud Light, you start to get real feminine. You start talking like a lady.
This can has fish on it, so I know I'm good.
Because there's a fish
I
on
can't
it.
even figure this
Yeah.
out. This is a complicated can.
We kept talking. Now I'm still thirsty. I'm gonna have to drink one more beer.
This just feels like the beach, so I must be.
Oh yeah, no, Jesus Christ! You got the Corona. Yeah, Corona is. It's
Cheers,
also,
everybody.
It's also Anheuser-Busch. That is the same brand. Joe Rogan drank Bud Light for one of the episodes.
Oh, yeah,
right
I
after
saw
it
that,
happened,
yeah.
he's like, "Listen, guy," and that's at the end of the day. Bud Light just made like a marketing error where you hire some young
Yeah,
kid
who
out of
cares?
college
Yeah.
that is like, "We want this to be. You want me to expand? You hired me to expand," and that's basically what she says in super crude terms: "Is you hired me to expand the market?
Yeah.
I did that."
Yeah.
It's like, well, you didn't have to actually throw a middle finger at the already established market. That was the thing that was a little over the top.
Yeah.
Where how does Bud Light recover? When you look at this news cycle,
It's just
it almost got dropped.
it's just
It
weird.
almost, it's last second for us. This 2 days ago
My
would have been
Pillow?
top 3 issues.
What was the My Pillow $5 million bet?
But it's just last point on that. It's weird that we highlight sexuality. Like it's just weird. That's
In Women's History Month, so we make this whole month to designate that women are special.
it's odd.
And then you have guys taking their job and other guys. You have 2 white men debating each other about another white man pretending to be a woman and the ethics of that. I don't know.
Welcome to 2023.
It's amazing
I said
though
it
that
earlier.
but as-
2009 seemed like such a long time ago.
What is shocking to me is I would say 9 out of 10 liberals agree with us on you have to play with your biological gender. Like if you're an athlete and you're born a male,
Yeah.
Even if you say you're a woman, you're still have to play in the boys' league.
That's why I don't understand the play.
Unless the girls are okay with it.
What I'm saying,
I think you should just have to be straight up about it.
what I'm saying is Democrats are presenting this issue as if it's 50-50 in their own party. And I'm saying is that maybe not 9 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 5 Democrats believe that they're against the trans exclusivity.
I think it's a lot different if it's like a woman that wants to compete at the man's level, which has
That doesn't exist. Yeah, that doesn't exist.
So it's like
because it would be taking the issue as if a
But then
woman
if you do it the other
if a
way
woman
around,
if,
it's
no,
just cheating.
If a woman
So-
if a woman wanted to play at the man's level, they'd have to take testosterone. That's against the rules. Women or men that want to compete as women already had that steroid.
See, this is where we should
put
just
into
let the steroids go. Let's let people take their
And
testosterone.
there's an argument.
Fuck it.
There's an argument for
Let's
third
do
leg.
it.
There's an argument for third leg that doesn't ask you your gender. It doesn't ask you your steroid profile. Any two mammals that want to get in a ring and beat the shit out of each other, let them have it. We'll do it on weight.
Can't wait
That's
for the
always been the way
Olympics
we
in
do
10
things.
years.
Is weight.
Just let them be alphas.
Wild world.
I don't think the Olympics will continue very much longer. That's my bold prediction.
The Olympics started,
Overnight,
but if you're going back to
so-
Greece, it used to be non-gendered, I believe.
Really?
Men would compete with women. Everyone exercised naked together at the gym.
Nice.
Old Play-Doh. So I don't know.
Makes sense to me. I don't know why people don't do that anymore. Just
I think
personally.
we should be a nudist society.
Yeah. Just like
Have you been to a nude beach?
Yeah,
Have you?
they have. In Mexico.
Did you participate in the nude beach, or just
No,
go
I
there to
did
see
not.
what it was like?
I was just.
You were a
kid.
peeper.
I wasn't even 18 yet.
Were there other people also not participating?
Or no, I was just 18, and yeah, a lot of people were not participating, but there was quite a bit that were, and my little brother was there because we were on vacation, right?
Which
and,
one?
Colin and AJ.
Brad at a nude
Colin
beach would
and
be a lot
AJ.
funnier to imagine.
They're walking along the water line with their heads just like cocked to the side, just like
Soaking it
looking
all
at
in.
the tits.
With the women, no,
Looking at the tits.
were the women attractive, or the nude beach I went to in Hawaii? The people were very ugly.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just scary.
That's usually
Now,
It's
usually the
It wasn't like this is a
yeah.
There were a couple topless sunbathers that were good looking, but for the most part, yeah,
scary.
not quite.
Not people
What
like
you
me.
want to
There were one
It's
or
disappointing.
two.
It's disappointing aspect.
You
of it.
probably
Yeah.
get ogled over the whole time, and then
These shows have been off the rails. I don't know if we're making any sense at all.
yeah, we really probably should end it.
What was the question? You had a good question.
No,
that
this is
ended on-
great.
I ended up
This
drinking
is
a whole
great.
other beer during the middle of it. Now I have to pee again.
You had a question, a random question I have, I think, written on the board.
Oh yeah, the
somewhere.
MyPillow $5 million bet. What's that?
Apparently, during the peak after the 2020 election, when the MyPillow guy broke into the White House with a big stack of papers, and was like frantically running up to Trump, going like, "I have the evidence," and they had to treat him like a crazy person. He doesn't have a gun.
Hardcore Republican.
He's not going to hurt
right?
anybody. It's just
Yeah.
he believes this, and he got a bus, traveled around, did big rallies, a mess.
Love it.
At one point, he put out a challenge.
What's his name? Do you remember?
Mike Liddell.
Liddell.
Mike Liddell. And he put out a challenge called ProveMeWrong.com. He said, this is his evidence on the 2020 election. If anybody can prove him that this evidence did not come from the machines, he'll pay them $5 million. Some guy claims to have done that. They've been fighting in legal arbitration, which
really?
Imagine that. Imagine being a professional judge. We've been talking about these 8-year majors. All this life, you're learning the Constitution. You're trying to weigh murder cases.
This is actually
now
being
you have a
played out
My
in
Pillow
court.
guy with a phantom case about this really sloppily organized voting organization, and you got to prove whose intent's real. The arbitration said that Mark's information was not correct. If the bet is enforceable, that's where I would have to go to a court now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then,
This
if
is
there
gonna-
was a contract signed, then he has to give $5 million.
Nice.
Mark Liddell, he was on 60 Minutes or one of those type shows. He's not giving an inch. The arbitrator didn't know anything. Yeah, so it's one of those, do you honor your bets? And
And it's a no.
but these guys are still around. And My Pillow now is, and if you're Mark Liddell, I'm talking about him, He got a brand new damn product out. My Pillow 2.0.
Nice.
I know what you're thinking. How are they advertising the first pillow? The best night's sleep in the whole wide world. Well, how are you going to say 2.0? Does that mean all the old pillows are useless?
I guess
Like if
so.
you're advertising your original pillow as the best night's sleep in the whole world, how are you going to come out and sell me a 2.0?
Probably
What do I
create
do
a
with that old shitty
subdivision
pillow that apparently you
within-
didn't put your research into?
Probably create a subdivision within the My Pillow community trying to argue
It's a
about
chillo.
which one they like the best.
He incorporated a chillo and he made it sound like this hasn't existed since we were in college. I had a chillo in 2010.
What's a chillo?
A pillow that stays cold?
A chillo?
Yeah, like half the pillow has this special like NASA, Elon technology that keeps it cold all the
What kind
time.
of pillows are these? I've never heard of these.
Yeah, it's
pillows
perfect because when you sleep on it, you always start off cold. Then when you wake up, the one side of the pillow's hot.
before. Flip it.
Flip to the other side, you get automatic cold. You guys never had chillos?
No.
I guess Mike right now let's get in the chillo business. Apparently people don't know about this. He just figured out that yeah, all pillows should be chillos because why not? Who wants a warm pillow? You want a cold pillow. And if you have the technology that you can always keep one side of the
Isn't
pillow.
that weird though? Like, why do you want a cold pillow? Like, shouldn't your head want to be resting?
So because you
in a
want
nice
the
warm
covers on.
space?
You want to cuddle up. You want to
That-
recreate that when your little fetus are going to be warm and snuggled.
Just doesn't
And if it's
sound
hot,
weird.
if you don't have the AC blast, and if you don't have your chillo,
Yeah.
then you take all the covers off and you're just kind of sitting there.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just on principle.
I
Like,
guess I didn't plan on that rant going there. I was going to
Yeah.
rip on Mike Liddell because he lied.
yeah.
Like you said the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, and it wasn't.
North Carolina banned participation trophies.
Yeah, they passed a law to ban participation trophies, which
Nice.
I am against as a potential parent, against participation trophies. But I'm not legally that you can't pass a law. Like if it's 5-6-year-old T-ball, there is a certain percentage of that league that is just participating.
Yeah.
They're not there to be pros. It's their parents are going,
There's a line.
you
got
got
to
to play a sport.
There, just yeah.
All you do as a good parent does not give your kids rewards for participation trophies.
Yeah.
You make fun of it. It's like, okay, yeah, you got your little non-gendered
We could debate the
medal,
participation trophy,
your little
but-
non-gender trophy. Like, okay, that's cute. You didn't actually win
I
anything.
think the answer is actually in the middle there somewhere, obviously.
Not legislation.
Yeah. Right.
It's like
yes,
in North
not
Carolina, it's like,
legislation,
what are we
yeah.
doing passing a law
Right.
banning it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there shouldn't be laws, but as a society, we should make trophies
For the concept,
more like sought after.
For practicing your personal life, I don't know why this is getting into the courts.
What's United versus blah 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 blah?
22-week-old pregnant wife of a pitcher. He's a bum pitcher.
From where?
It's irrelevant. Major League Baseball. He was not on the plane, but you cannot tell that by the way the picture is. She is a 5 and a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old threw popcorn all over the floor. Flight attendants made her pick up her kid's popcorn. The baseball player puts out a tweet going, "Can you believe they made my 22-week-old wife, pregnant wife, pick up the popcorn?"
Yeah.
Internet, big backlash against it, saying that like, well, why wouldn't you have the 5-year-old pick up the popcorn? And at first,
That's a good point.
at first they thought that he was on the plane. They're like, "Are you literally taking a picture of your wife picking up popcorn?" And saying, complaining, like, "Why did you pick up the popcorn?"
Right.
He was already at the game.
Okay.
They were flying in to come see him play. She had somebody else take the picture while she was doing it. So the question, generally, most people are on the sides of, yeah, the 5-year-old should have picked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
I could go for some popcorn right now.
It's not the best argument I heard. I think it was from Gutfeld. Was when you go into a movie theater and you pay $17 for a large drink and a large popcorn.
More
You
than
got to write the letter.
More than that.
Yeah, $20.
It's crazy.
It used to be $10.99.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in my day, 2009, $10.99, unlimited
Felt like
refills
so
and a large
long ago,
popcorn and a
Greg.
large
That
drink.
it did. That it did.
But either way, you're paying $20 for this stuff. You can leave it on the floor. Like they hire people specifically to go in after. Since I work
that was
there,
our
I
jobs. Those were our jobs.
But I can see the spite you feel as a customer when you overpay to such an extent for a product that it's like, yeah, it's your job to clean up. Popcorn all over the floor. I would question. I don't think airlines should sell things like peanuts and popcorns that are really just those are what
Well,
you
you
serve
can
in
buy
saloons.
it. You can bring it with
Yeah, no-
you. I mean,
Then I wouldn't let. We just had the debate last time about peanut butter and jelly. No, you're not bringing popcorn on a plane. You can go 6 hours without popcorn. It's a mess. It's just a really crappy food. It's like you're asking everyone to do a little bit of extra work.
2-year-old.
Yeah, he can eat other things than popcorn. Like it's really just an odd thing to.
Whatever.
I'm with United. If I was working, I'd have probably picked it up. I wouldn't have made a
You're
pregnant woman clean up
anti-child.
after me.
You're
But if I was another mother and I saw that mother being a crappy mother, yeah, you
We're
pick up. I'm not
fathers.
picking up after your kid.
We're
You're
fathers.
anti-child.
So you would have picked it up. You guys would have picked it up.
I wouldn't have let Cash do
Yeah, I would have
that.
picked it up.
I wouldn't have let.
No,
Cash do that.
if you're the attendant,
Accidents happen.
if you're not
accidents happen,
not-
I would have.
not if you're the
made
parent.
Somebody do that.
not if you're the parent, if you're the attendant.
I just think that's sometimes.
No, I would have cleaned it up.
I think that's just sometimes like a shitty.
If you're the
thing
worker,
not
you
to
don't
do.
say anything, and you just.
I'd have cleaned it up.
I wouldn't either as a man. I think it was woman. I'm not positive. But as a male, yeah, I'm not going to tell a woman to clean up her kid's garbage.
Right.
As another mother, though, I don't know. It depends how egregious. The picture doesn't do it. It looks bad. It's like the kind of thing. It's like he was trying to make a mess, and you just let him.
I actually think we did pretty good on your board.
We did. We did
Yeah.
really good.
The Pirates are playing better. I don't call them back.
Penn State's gonna
We
be
can talk about
national
that later.
championship.
What about MLB? The rule changes. I love them. I'm hearing a lot of people hating on the Ghost Runner. I love it. I love having the pitcher under the squeeze like that. You have to start every inning with the guy on
I think
second.
it's too easy to
So
steal.
immediately, as soon as you get extra innings, the last out from the previous inning is already on second base.
Yeah.
So you're going to score a run. This game's not going to go 17 innings, 5 hours. They cut out alcohol in the 7th inning. Okay, if the game goes in inning
I thought they're
14,
extending
They were
them.
talking about that on the radio this morning.
I thought they're extending.
just
them.
end it. If
The
you're
innings.
No,
well, no,
no.
right now the rules force the endings that you're not going to have more than 2 extra inning games. With starting a guy in second, you're going to guaranteed 1 run at a minimum, probably 2 or 3.
Yeah, but
the
what-
odds of you tying inning after inning is very low.
I don't hate the Ghost Runner as much as just like the pitch clock because it just makes stealing so easy.
I kind of like that. It wasn't a thing before.
I know, but it's like now
get it part of the game
But
again.
now it's flipped to the other side.
Catchers
where
are
it's
more
like it's
important.
too much.
A good catcher can really stop a little bit of movement.
You got to do something to help the catchers, though. I mean, like it's like the stealing is like 90%.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
How do we help the catchers? Here?
That's what we need. We need to help the catchers, or the pitchers need to help the catchers. Like they need to they have to speed up their own wind up. So the game will change. It's another adaptation, but I don't like that part. I think that could have been.
Philly.
I don't like pitch counts.
Last topic because I loved it. We got a number of Philly fans that watch the show.
Do we?
We do.
Bert?
We do. No, actually, the majority of feedback I get are from Philadelphia. And now, if Austin's are in the market,
Yeah.
we could start up both sides of the state. We could have a Philly version of the show. Philly food fight. Dollar hot dog. They got pissed off at a closer. The Phillies are not doing well this year. Dollar hot dog's a really easy thing to throw on the field. So the Philly fans just started just buying all these dollar hot dogs and throwing them everywhere. And what's going to end up happening is they're not going to...
Only in Philadelphia.
No more dollar hot dogs. Is if you're going to want to litter the field with hot dogs, $10. We're not going to let you do this $1. Craig, but you were just talking about the hot dog food industry, hot dog food truck industry.
Yeah.
Philly proved how good things can go awry rather quickly.
Go Golden Knights. Go Kraken.
Golden Knights are in trouble. Draymond, they actually suspended him?
Yeah. Damn. No Golden Knights in hockey.
Oh, I was thinking Golden State.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great 420, everybody. I think that